I get backing. Hey! 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 Clap like this. And it's over, don't you come in? Ababa mi nile. And it's over, roku come in. Ababa mi lejo. I get backing home. I know they walk alone. And it's over, don't you come in? Ababa mi nile. And it's over, roku come in. Ababa mi lejo. I get backing home. I know they walk alone. I walk with God the Father, walk with God the Son, I walk with God the Spirit. Three of them join, I get backing home. I know they walk alone. I walk with God the Father, walk with God the Son, I walk with host of angels, all of them join, I get backing home. I know they walk alone. Say, and it's over, and it's over, and it's over, Abao, and it's over, Roku coming, and it's over, Roku coming, Abao, because I get mercy.
Welcome to Holy Ghost Theater TV. Today on Sisters Corner, we have a guest. Her name is Mrs. JT Pepsi Micah. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have you today. And today's topic is going to be what to do as a single sister while waiting on God for a life partner. Please, viewers, you can share, comment, and just drop your own advice. We'll appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, ma. Once again, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Today, as I've said, we're going to talk about single sisters waiting for a life partner. All right, ma, what can you say about this particular topic?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm elated for this great opportunity to lend my voice.
You're welcome, ma.
However, and sequel to what a lot of other people know, do, or say with regards to relationship, marriage, or otherwise, there are no absolute laws. I want to put a disclaimer. There are no absolute laws. There are no absolute maybe command with regards to marriage and relationship. This is because every marriage is unique. Every relationship is unique, and every individual is also unique. Now, I'm saying that, I would want to start by saying that marriage itself is a beautiful thing.
Okay.
It's very beautiful, because if it were not so, the Bible wouldn't have said it is not good for the man to stay alone.
Yeah.
So marriage is a good thing. You know, sometimes if you just have a friend who could walk life journey with you, you're happy. If you have a friend who could understand whatever that is happening with you or around you, a friend that you can confide in, is a beautiful thing. So marriage is truly a beautiful thing.
Right.
However, you know, there's a misconception with some people that every man is the same. Every marriage is the same. Every marriage has its own. Well, every marriage has its own ups and downs, has its own challenges, but not all marriages are the same.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I keep saying most often that what you do before marriage most often than not translate to what you do in the marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, what you do before you get married has so much to do with you in the marriage.
Okay.
So sometimes we get caught off with the fact that I want to get married, and we forget the preparation part of the marriage. So for me, I feel preparation, it's more important than what you do or that the marriage itself. So how well you prepare for it is more important than what you even do in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. So what will you tell someone out there that is trusting God, waiting on God? What advice will you give that person out there? That the whole thing, he has been trusting, he has been waiting, and it's as if the whole thing is not forthcoming.
I think, well, the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes that there's a time for everything.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we give God our own cosmos time.
All right.
So that's why sometimes it feels to us as though we are wasting. It feels to us as though time is passing us by. And sometimes it could be because of the friends, allies around us that are married or have gotten married. So we tend to set our time clocks according to our friends. And even sometimes it could be according to society, that the society will say, before you are so and so, you get married. But that's why I said it's more important to know, to get prepared before the marriage, before the actual event. Now, if you look at people that go for track event, field event, the time they use in preparation for those kinds of competition, it's more than, sometimes some of them take years, some of them take months to prepare before the actual event or before the actual competition, because they know that once the competition starts, the camera has started rolling.
Exactly.
So that's why I said a lot of time we need to look at the preparation part of it, which is more paramount, and then not set our time clocks according to what the society says or according to what our friends say. It could be very difficult, I must admit, that it could be very difficult if, as a lady, all of your friends are getting married, all of your friends are giving birth, and then you're here. You don't even have a stable relationship. I must admit that it's really it's painful, sort of.
Really not easy.
It's not easy, yes. But that's why I said if you prepare for it, you know that these are part of what culturally the society tends to project to the girls, and then you know that no, this is now my moment of preparation, and then you know that there's a time for everything under the sun, and then you won't put yourself under any unnecessary pressure because everyone is getting married, and then you just recalibrate your mindset that time is delusional.
And again, you are not me, I am not you. So everybody has his own time. As the word of God said, there's time for everything. So there's no we should not panic, or we should not rush the whole thing because everyone around us is getting married, or everyone around us has gotten married. So it's always good to always wait for our time. At the end of the day, most people rush in and they are really crying, they are really complaining because they just want to follow the status quo. They just want to do what people are doing.
Exactly.
All right, ma. Okay, now, while waiting on God for a life partner, is it okay that, like, yes, I'm waiting on God. You know, people have this notion that, okay, yes, I'm waiting for God's time. I'm waiting for God's time. And you're doing nothing. You're just there, sitting down, doing nothing. You're not improving yourself. You're just waiting on God. So this waiting on God thing, is it that someone will just go and fold his hands, just go and do cross leg and say he's waiting on God? Or what do you think at that moment one should engage himself in?
So just like I said earlier, that what you do before the marriage is more important than what you do in the marriage.
Okay.
And just like I gave the analogy of an athlete, a sportsman,
Yes,
a
ma'am.
sportswoman that invests so much time in preparation.
Okay.
You know, like I said, they prepare for, some prepared for years, and then if you check their preparation, they do a lot of things around the preparation.
Okay.
And sometimes it could be maybe 100-meter race.
Okay.
You know, but they will cover a lot of distance. It goes down to what they eat, it goes down to what they read, it goes down to who they interact with. So before the actual date for the race, of which all of those preparations are more important because they needed to win the race.
All right.
Now, a lot of young women, you know, in our days, in our generation,
Yes, ma'am.
feels getting married is all about age. So you just
Yeah.
wait when you are 24, then, you know, I am now ripe
Ready.
for marriage.
Okay.
Age has nothing to do with marriage. But just like I said, what you do before your preparation.
Yeah.
Now I want to run down a few things that sisters could do while waiting or while preparing for marriage. You know, when you want to go to school, when you want to acquire a degree, for instance, any course of study you want to do, if you want to gain a certificate,
Yes, ma'am.
you first of all enroll in a school. Then you allow yourself to go through the rigorous activity of academics so that you'll be able to gain the requisite knowledge for you to be given that particular degree.
Yeah.
And then if you climb the ladder of academics, you get to the point that they will say you're a professor.
Yeah.
Means you're knowledgeable on that field.
Yes.
So first of all, before you get married, you should be able to gain knowledge about what marriage is.
Okay.
What marriage is. Like, I know that a lot of people are in marriage, but they don't know what marriage is all about.
Okay.
A lot of us just marry because we needed to give our parents grandchildren. And just like my late father of blessed memory will say, if you don't have a child, then what becomes of the marriage?
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to gain knowledge of what, first of all, marriage is all about. What is marriage to you as a person? You know, and then why do I need to marry?
Marry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not because everybody is getting married, so you want to marry. You know, you must know why you're getting married.
Yeah.
It's not all the what happened on the day of the wedding, but why do you want to get married? You know, sometimes if we get that question right,
Yeah.
it may help us in trying to go back and say, okay, am I truly ready for marriage or not? So gain knowledge on the idea of marriage. You see, if marriage is lifetime, if I call marriage a long distance race,
Okay, wow.
you know, yeah, you don't need to, you know, there's a difference between a marathon. I'm not too good in sport, but there's a difference between a marathon and a short distance race.
Yes,
You know, the energy, the whatever. But when you know that you're covering a lot of distance, you know, perseverance, discipline, you know, so you know you have to really prepare for it. So first of all, how do you gain the knowledge?
Okay.
How do you gain the knowledge? First of all, you read books.
Okay.
Yes, of
Read
course.
books.
You read books, because if you are going to school to gain a degree, you will get associate materials that are related to that degree.
Yes.
If you're reading psychology, you wouldn't be going to a physics class. Yeah, you will go to a school that is in tandem. You go to classes that is in alliance with whatever degree you want to acquire. And in fact, as you go on the ladder of academics, it becomes narrower.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it becomes narrower. So you gain knowledge. And then I keep asking myself question why people don't want to learn marriage, but they want to marry. It is really an anomaly that you want to marry,
It's just
zero knowledge.
Ah.
Yes. So how do you get knowledge? You know, a lot of times I ask young girls, how many books have you read about marriage? How many books have you read about marriage? You want to join into this institution. How many books have you read about? How many seminars? How many conferences have you attended? Then how many people that have gotten the idea of marriage, how many of them have you gone to for counsel, for questioning, for understanding of what marriage is all about? So first of all, you know, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs that by wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. So that a lot of times marriages fails because you have not gotten the requisite knowledge, you know, to go into marriage. So if the Bible is saying by understanding it is filled up, by wisdom it is filled up. So what makes you feel that you don't need knowledge before you go into it? Just like you go to school, try to get knowledge. Try to read books about marriage, about relationship. There are a lot of books about marriage, and then how many of them have you read? So as you wait, as you trust God for marriage, read books. Read books. Read books about yourself. Read books about marriage. It's not every idea in the book you will understand, but then it will give you perspective. You know, and then secondly, know yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, know yourself. You know, when you
it's very important.
it's very important. I keep saying that, and when you know yourself, you're doing yourself more good than the person that is about or that will marry you. In fact, you're doing yourself good to any other person, family, friends alike.
Yeah.
Just like Socrates say, man, know thyself.
Yeah. Man, know thyself.
Man, know thyself. So, you know, a lot of times we don't even know ourselves. You know, but then we want the other person to know us.
To know us.
You know, you don't know your possibilities. You don't know your temperament. You don't know your love language.
You don't know.
You don't know your love language. You don't know yourself. You don't know your strength. You don't know your weakness. You don't even know what you can take and what you cannot take. You know, recently I had a conversation with someone, and I said there are certain things that I won't be able to take in marriage, and I discovered that.
Okay.
And I told myself the honest truth about that.
You can't.
You know, there are things that you can take,
yes,
but I cannot take.
That's individual.
That's it. So that's why I said know yourself.
Yes.
You know, when you know yourself, the race becomes easier.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that if you know yourself, it will be easier for you to know who should be in your boat.
Exactly.
It will be easier for you to know who you're joining with. If, for instance,
you can't just marry anybody.
You can't just marry anybody, For instance, if I am joining to Male 6, for instance, and then someone is joining to Sabongari, as well-meaning as that person is, we do not have the same destination. That person might not be a bad person.
Exactly.
But because I know my journey I'm going to Male 6. So I have no business with the person going to Sabongari. So if you know yourself, if you know your possibilities, you know, you can lie to anybody, but not yourself.
Lie to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a lot of young ladies marrying men that have children outside. And after the whole marriage thing, they become demons to their stepchildren. See, if you know and you tell yourself the honest truth that, you know, I can help other person, I can support some people, but I am not sure I have the mental strength to handle someone, a baby daddy. You know, so when you sit down before you, these are things you tell yourself. You honestly tell yourself. And then if you understand yourself, you know your possibilities. You know, you won't even put people in unnecessary pressure. And let me tell you, if you know yourself, it will be easier for you to know people around.
Exactly.
It will be easier for you to know even the person you will marry. You will know that
the person is in your bunch or not.
And then if you know yourself, you know that, okay, I am sanguine, I am melancholy, I am a fleck. You know, I'm a choleric. These are my tendencies. I know. Let me tell you how understanding yourself helps you. It helps because if you are married and then there might be some issues here and there, and then you know that, okay, I'm a choleric. I can be so much an extreme.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you will not be able to stretch like maybe a phlegmatic husband.
Yeah,
so
yes,
much.
yes.
You know that, okay, fine, this person is in his zone. I know my tendencies. I can be too much of an extra. So, but this person is not a choleric. This person is a phleg. He loves to be in his zone, and then it transcends to even your friends, even your family. So when you understand yourself, no wonder the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So first of all, if you know yourself, you will be able to relate with others. If you understand yourself, sometimes you just need to lock yourself in the room and then tell yourself, you know, I know myself. I know if you put me in this kind of situation, I will explode. You know, and then you know that if I can explode, you'll be able to excuse yourself from certain scenarios, certain situations that will warrant you from showing your own side, so that you know yourself. You're doing yourself more good. You know, I keep saying that. This is on a lighter note, actually. Okay. I keep saying that before I got married, I said I wanted my genotype to be AS.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Funny, right?
It's funny, very funny.
I said I wanted my genotype to be AS. You know why? Because I told myself that if I am an AS, it has automatically screened the possibility of me going out with anybody that is an AS. I don't have to go and pray about it. Now there are exceptions to this.
Okay, I'm getting to understand you.
Yes, I don't have to go and pray about it. But by understanding what it means to be an AS, so I have no business.
Unlike like I am AA, you understand? So anybody,
you know, but then if I am, it streams my choices.
Yeah,
you know. So I have no business. I have no business going into marital relationship with a person that is an AS.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So, and then the third point is that you know your cycle.
Okay.
You know your cycle, or you trim your cycle.
Okay.
You know, sometimes what hinders some young ladies from getting married is their cycle.
Wow.
Yes.
Hearing this for the first time.
Yeah. It's their cycle.
All right.
You know, sometimes someone might be genuinely interested in you.
Okay.
But then he does not have so much knowledge about you.
Okay.
You know? And you know, in this part of the world, a lot of people rely on information about the person they are going out with. So, you know, sometimes a lot of people will attach you to your cycle, to your friends. You know, oh, this person, she's from so and so group, and you know, especially this part of the globe where people are in groups. You know, people are in groups. You have people, I know this person belongs to group A, this person belongs to group B.
And you then understand there's some beefs.
Yes, there are beefs, and then there are a kind of a general notion that people have about the person, about the group, about the particular group. You know, you might not truly be in synergy with what the people in the group are doing, you know, but because you belong to the group, you are automatically a victim of that group. So, you know, when you know yourself, you know the people that are not supposed to be in your cycle.
Like just the way it is said that, how will I even put it?
Bad company corrupts.
Bad companies corrupt good manners. And okay, show me your friend.
Show me your friend.
Show me your friend. Then I will tell you who you are.
You know, sometimes even the downside of this kind of relationship, some relationship, is that they tend to inoculate you. They tend to give you like a bad knowledge, bad exposure about certain persons or certain kinds of lifestyle. You know, whether you like it or not, your friends because of what they keep telling you, what you keep conversing as a group. They will influence you directly or indirectly. You know, so that's why there's a popular saying that said, you choose your friend.
Yeah.
You don't let them to choose you. How do you choose them? When you know yourself, you know people that should not be in your boat.
Yeah.
You know, so as you stay back and prepare for marriage, know your friends. See, there are certain kinds of friends that as the more you keep them, the more slim your possibility of getting suitors. Yes, because some people cannot deal with your cycle.
It's true.
And they know that whether they like it or not, these are people that will be in, even in the marriage. And these are people that will pre-inform your decisions about anything in the marriage. So you know your cycles. You know, if you keep having friends that believe that marriage is useless, that keep believing that all men cheat.
Yeah.
You know, that keep believing that there are no good men in the world. You know, over time it will be hard for you to believe that there are good men out there. There are men that are honestly interested in people, and there are men that are honestly interested in their spouses. So you know your cycle. When you know yourself, you know your journey. You know people that should not be in your cycle. Because first of all, you know that your friends, your children might be their children in the nearest future. You know, then if you have a friend that that keep fighting with every partner, keep fighting with, she will tell you that I know men. This is how they are from first-hand information, from first-hand experience. This is how they are. So before you realize, you keep tilting your thoughts, and then any other thing the person does, you feel, no, that's a signal. Mr. A, that was how he started. So yeah, you know, your friends have so much grasp on you. Because they are the people you see, they are the people you introduce your boyfriend to, your husband to be to. They are the people you share your ideas to. So if you have cycles that are limited in their head, that haven't gained knowledge, sooner or later you will become what they always say. So always know, as you prepare for marriage, know that I love myself so much not to journey with this person. This person is not supposed to be in this, in my cycle. You know, it's okay. It's okay to cut ties. You know, it's okay to move, to grow above certain friendship. You know, without being personal, without fighting. It's okay to grow above them. It's growth. You know, sometimes they may try to tell you, oh, it's because you're at this level. No. You know, you love yourself so much to know that this person might be good, might be well-meaning, might protect me, but might not be good for me, for my relationship, for my mental health.
And don't always, you know, we are fond of saying, me, I am me. Nobody can influence me. Understand? But at the end of the day, you understand that as just saying, okay, like maybe you're fond of saying omo, you understand? Let me just keep it as simple as this. Omo, anything you say omo. Before you know, if we are always together, I'll start saying omo.
Exactly.
If I'm talking. So that's the whole cycle of thing that we are talking about here. So sometimes you just have to tell yourself the truth. These people, they are not in my cycle. So the best thing is just to keep off and just be on my own and find people that we can relate very well. Okay, viewers, we'll go on a short break. Please, if you have any question, just drop it on the comment section, or if you have any contribution or advice, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
I know they walk alone. I know they walk alone. It's true. Say, any toba doju komi. Any toba doju komi. Abao. Any toba roku komi. Any toba roku komi. Abao. Because I get back in. I know they walk alone. I know they walk alone. I like this one. tó bá robí kan mi. Ẹni tó bá robí kan mi. Abá o. Abá mi nílẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá dìtẹ̀ mọ́ mi. Ẹni tó bá dìtẹ̀ mọ́ mi. Abá o. Abá mi lẹ́jọ́. Because I get back. Who dey your back? Who dey your back? Hey. I know they walk alone. Hey. Say. Ẹni tó bá robí kan mi. Ẹni tó bá robí kan mi. Just by thinking it. Ẹni tó bá dìtẹ̀ mọ́ mi. Ẹni tó bá dìtẹ̀ mọ́ mi. Abá o. Abá mi lẹ́jọ́. Because I get back. I know they walk alone. I know they walk alone. Say I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Father. Walk with God the Son. I walk with God the Spirit. Freedom and joy. I get back. I know they walk alone. I know they walk alone. Say I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Father. Walk with God the Son. Walk with host of angels. All of them. I am not walking alone. You are not walking alone. You get back. I know they walk. Say you walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Son. I walk with God the Spirit. I know they walk alone. I know they walk alone. Say I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Father. Walk with God the Son. Walk with God. I walk with God the Father. Hey, all of them joy. I get back and go. I know they walk alone. Say. Yeah. I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Father. I walk with God the Son. I walk with God the Spirit. I get back and go. I know they walk alone. Say I walk with God the Father. Walk with God the Son. Walk with host of angels. I know they walk alone. Say, I walk with God the Father. I get back in. You get back in. You know they walk alone. Say.
Joining us. We are talking about things to do as a single sister while waiting on God for a life partner. Please, you can comment, you can ask a question on the comment box, you can share so that you help someone out there, and you can give your own advice. You can contribute in one way or the other you want to. All right, welcome back, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for those knowledge, for those hot advice. All right, Ma, as we're saying, you're talking about knowing your cycles of friends. You talk about first, you know yourself, you understand, know your cycle. And the first one is, sorry?
Gain knowledge.
Gain knowledge, yeah, gain knowledge. All right, so what are some of those things? Let's just continue.
Okay.
I know you have a lot to pour out, so let's.
Okay, so before the break, we were talking about knowing your cycle.
Yeah.
You know your cycle, you know people that should be in your boat,
Yeah.
and people that shouldn't be in your boat. You know, sometimes it's refreshing if you have a friend that you are married and then don't always advise you to give it all to the person, you know. He's a stupid person, you know. Yeah, but if you have a friend that always see a brighter side of life, that will encourage you. So sometimes this thing starts from the relationship. You know, if before you're married, sometimes you have friends that will tell you, he's not having money, just let him be. You know, so, and then a lot of times for girls, your friends pre-informed your decision on the person you marry.
Honestly.
They do. You know,
70%.
as much as we won't say it or won't accept it,
they do.
but then they do. You know, sometimes you are afraid of what your friends will say. You know, I love this person. I know this person is good for me, but then because your friend don't feel he is good for you, so they pre-informed your decision. Sometimes you discard good men, you know, good men in quotes, because your friends, your cycle,
what they will say,
and then sometimes they may even show you their own partners, their own boyfriends, and then it may seem as though your own don't measure up to them. So you must know your cycle. You must know what you want to achieve of them. So before you are married, know your cycle. If you need to add and drop, you should. It's important for you because it is your life.
Yeah.
You know, and another point is you should come off or drop off leeching mentality.
Okay.
Yeah, leeching mentality. You know, there's an organism we call leech, and you know, we call leech. It's a parasite.
Right.
You know, what it does is that once it gets on the host, it sucks the blood of the host. It leaches the
like
blood
a
of parasite. Yes, like a parasite. It leaches the blood of the host, and then once it drank the blood, and then it comes. So in this part of the globe, it's so sad to say that most young women waiting and preparing for marriage tend to be leeches.
Wow.
Yeah, we tend to be leeches. It's a norm, it's a social norm that you just, anybody you see, you want to bill urgent 2K. Anybody you see, you know, you don't necessarily love the person, but you know, I know I'm not going to marry this person, but you know, I have bills to pay. My friend's wedding is in December. You know, I needed someone that will fund those bills. You know, so I would just say yes to him, and then let him fund the bills. And it's painful to a lot of times. Sometimes you see, after you must have met the person and use him as a leech, then in the next 1 or 2 years, you see him getting married.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, he left me, he dumped me. No, man. You know, so, you know, sometimes anybody that comes your way, anybody you meet, you have this leeching mentality. Yeah. All that you want to do is you want to get urgent 2K, you want to bill them, you know. There are men that are scared of billing, you know, and then you want to marry, you really want to marry. But then all that is in your head is, what do I get from this person? Why can't you think of value? You know, anybody you meet, anybody. I keep, sometimes I keep reminiscing that, you know, there are a lot of people in the world, and then till I die, I might not meet some people.
Yes, ma'am.
But if my path cross with some people, it is an opportunity for me to make an impact in their lives.
Certainly.
It is not an opportunity for me to rip them of whatever they have. You know, it goes beyond. That's why I said, first of all, when you get it as a single person, it will be easier for you to get it when you're married. You know, if you have a leeching mentality, don't think you will change it when you're married. Don't think you will. Yeah, because nothing happens automatically in the altar. Yeah, you are you. The day I was taking my vows, I am still JT. Yeah. Nothing changed. The only thing was that it was a wedding program. You know, if I am not informed, if I am not knowledgeable, I will still go back with those kind of baggages, you know. So if you are a leech, you know, sometimes it even prolong your possibility of settling down, because everybody that comes around you, you're thinking of what bills, you know. And someone said, if I cannot even do it myself, then what makes me believe that you must do it for me? You know. So as you wait to be married, you know, think value.
Think
First
value.
of all, value
Value.
yourself. Then think value to the other person you meet. I keep saying that sometimes you receive urgent 2K at the expense of 20 billion naira in the future. Because to some people that you may see and maybe hit and run at that time,
Yeah.
you know, they might be your destiny helpers. Those kind of association might be destined by God. I keep saying that it's not every person you meet that you must be in relationship with.
Exactly.
Even if they are good.
Not everybody that is good is good for you.
Good person is good for you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's just connection.
Yeah.
You met
It's just
for
connection,
connection,
exactly.
for future sake. Take for instance, if I want to say maybe the governor, for instance.
Okay.
If there were ladies far back at his young age,
Yeah.
and that he dated, and then they broke up because she feels he can't meet her financial
Yeah.
needs, and then you know, he's even a broke ass, he can't give me this, he can't give me that, you know, and then her friends compound the issue.
Yeah.
Yes, just leave him. If a man cannot buy 500K wig for you, just leave him. If he can't do this and that for you, just leave him. And then 20 years down the line, he is the governor.
He's the governor.
And that's why I said, you know, sometimes, well, let me strike a balance here. You can also be, you know, and that person, you can also be the governor.
Yeah.
You know, it must not be the man that, you know, you can also be. But some people are for associations,
Yeah.
are for future connections.
Yeah,
They are not for
future
present
connection.
pleasures. You know, sometimes you will eat your future with suya of 2,000 naira. So when you have this kind of knowledge, you know that, you know, I am a value myself. Anybody I meet,
Yeah.
you know,
Let me try and act.
yeah, it was Papa Paul Enenche that said, if you are not Miss, it means your presence was not needed in the first
Exactly,
place.
yeah.
So sometimes you may meet some persons, you may meet some people that think value other than the urgent 2K you want to build the person. You know, sometimes somebody said that it's not as if some men don't have money, but they must see that you're worth it before they give you the money. So first of all, prove to them that you have what it takes to receive the money from them.
Some people said, okay, what will you bring to the table? You understand? There's this saying that what will you bring to the table? And jokingly, you see some ladies saying, you don't even have table. What will I bring to the table?
What will I even bring? Yes.
But at least have something.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
something
yeah,
that you
yeah.
bring to the table.
Yes. So, but when you know that people that I meet, I should first of all be genuinely interested in people. You know, what value am I adding to the person? You know, some friends that you meet, if not for you, their secret will not be all around town.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
but because they met you, you know, you're the person that takes their story, their heartbreaks, their whatever around the world.
Yeah.
So think value. If you think, don't always be a leech. It is demeaning to be a leech always. You know, it is even if you don't have money to give, you know, in the relationship,
Yeah.
give what you know.
Give what you know.
You know, give business ideas. Give growth mindset, share books,
Yeah.
encourage the person to build his career.
Exactly.
Even if you're no longer together, the person will say, I met someone that encouraged me to go back to school.
And that person will never forget
And the
you.
person will never forget. So as a young girl, before you get married, think value. Think
Right.
value.
Okay.
When you said that right, I think it will go a long way.
Okay, thank you so much. We have one comment here. I don't know whether it's a question or a contribution, but let me just read it out. Maybe you have something to say. He said, when you have already know who you are, where you are going, and your calling, it's difficult sometimes to settle down maritally because you already have the compacts in your hand. Should I repeat myself?
No, I get, but you can read for so I'll
All right.
ask.
Now, when you have already known who you are, where you are going, and your calling, it's difficult sometimes to settle down maritally because you already have the compacts in your hand. What would you say about this, ma?
I love that the person said sometime. Yeah, I love that the person said sometimes.
Okay.
You know, we need to strike balance between knowing yourself, understanding your purpose, and then unreasonable expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be a very thin line between the two of them.
All right.
You know, unrealistic expectations, and then understanding of purpose.
Okay.
And then understanding of your calling, understanding of yourself. You know, I don't think that when you know yourself, then it's difficult for you to settle down. I don't think. Because
to me, if you leave me, I say you have solved 50% of
you have
your problem.
solved 50%. See, Jennifer Funke Akindele who always say that birth of the same feather, they laba together. Yes, that's on a lighter note. Say, so birth of the same feather, they flock together.
Exactly.
You know, if you said because you don't want to know much, you don't want to develop yourself, it means you're settling for your kind of person. Have you heard of an adage that said, water will always find its level? See, there are men, there are women, and there are men for your own kind of person. It's not everybody that is your kind of person. There are men and there are women for that suit you and suit your personality. You know, so sometimes you just say, okay, I don't want to know much, I don't want to be focused in my career. See, there are people that is at the zenith of their careers that they met their partners.
Exactly.
Yes, that they met their partners. So nothing should be increasing yourself from will always find its level. A lot of times I keep saying that if young ladies that are not married will sit down and check the people that ask them out. You know, sometimes if you sit down and check the kinds of people that ask you out, sometimes you should go back in retrogression and ask yourself, then what am I doing wrong? Then what am I doing wrong? Because see, when you know, there are people that will not come to you by the virtue of, and then if you know, there are people that are for those. See, you're marrying one person, not everybody. So if you know yourself, you know your purpose. In your purpose, you meet the person that is journeying your same kind of journey, and then you will marry the person. Now, this has nothing to do with unreasonable and unrealistic expectation. That because I know this, so that because I read 50 books, I need a man that must read 100 books. You know, that because I'm a reader, so I need somebody that reads, it is it or nothing.
After all, it's good to discover who you are before getting married.
Yes,
no one will discover that for you.
Exactly.
Like, you won't just wait and see that, okay, it's after marriage that, okay, the man or the woman is supposed to, like, okay, know what I'm supposed to, you understand? You know, find my purpose for me, find my calling. You're supposed to know it yourself before even venturing into
Exactly.
marriage.
And then knowing your purpose has nothing to do with the person.
Has nothing.
Because, okay, when I know, for instance, if I know that I am good, maybe I'm a teacher by call, if I know I'm a teacher by call, and then I now met someone who is doing something entirely different, that does not even see teaching as something important. You know, as good as your vocation is, some people don't even see it as anything important.
Exactly.
You know, so it's frustrating if you finally marry somebody, you don't know your calling, and then you still want to leave that calling. The person will find nothing important in it, and that's why a lot of marriages are having issues. When you want to, I want to do this, but then the spouse is not in his head. He does not see a woman. He does not see a woman that is into banking, and now you're married, and you know that your life purpose is in banking. You will be frustrated, and I'm telling you, the most frustrated place to be is in marriage. Is in marriage. So if you know it's different, please, it's different from unrealistic and unreasonable expectation that you know should not put you in a place to keep people in an unrealistic expectation. You get, but that because I know, it's easier for me to understand the other person and then know where this person can fill up and I can fill up in the person's life.
Okay, thank you so much. So in a nutshell, marry your type.
Marry
your type.
Yeah.
Okay, ma. I really want you to talk about. I know. I don't want to. You understand? I don't want the whole thing to look as if. Trying to be. Okay, let me just. Can you talk about being domestic? About domestic. While waiting, is there a need for someone to, like, I know some people say, I have the money, you get, I can employ anyone, but as a lady, as a single sister, is it fine if you learn one or two things?
Yeah, as I am thinking about a lot of things, sometimes we should be careful to bring culture into religion.
That's what I'm afraid of. Yes,
to bring culture into religion and into different walks of life. Okay. That's why I'll still go back to knowing yourself, and then knowing what you want out of life. From your question, I want to bring an analogy. Okay. That I really want to bring a balance. That's why I am very careful and picky in my words. There are people that were raised in Nigeria, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And in Nigeria, in the north especially, and Taraba, where we came from, you are trained as a woman, first of all, to be domestic.
Yes.
It is good, it is important in its role, but I will say it is not absolute.
All right.
Yes. Because what if you finally marry someone outside of the country?
Okay.
Yes, like if you marry someone that is in the Western world, that is the duty of men to cook.
Okay.
Yes,
but just emphasizing.
I'm trying to bring balance. I'm trying to bring balance because we are dealing with a wider coverage. You never can tell. So if being domestic can be contextualized, but now in our own context, that's why I said if you know yourself, you know the person you should marry, right? Yeah. Now you cut yourself certain kind of you help yourself by 50%. For instance, if as a man, all that you want a woman that cooks. Okay. You want a woman that cooks. Then that's why we talk about knowing yourself, helping you. It's not really on the disadvantaged side. Right. You go for ladies that cook. Okay. You go for ladies that love cooking. Okay. Honestly, there are ladies that don't like cooking. Wow. Yeah, there are ladies, I have met a lot of them that don't like cooking. Now, you don't marry a woman that loves to cook, that don't love to cook, then you force her to cook. Even though in marriage, there are compromises. But then, that's why I said being domestic can be contextualized. But in Africa and Taraba, the first thing you should know to do is to cook. Because obviously, more than maybe 80% of us here are from average families.
Yes.
And then we do not have the luxury to always go out, buy food, to always go out, eat out. We do not have those kinds of luxury. Now, before those luxuries come, you should be able to know how to cook. And then there's an ideology my younger brother has, and I feel it's cool. He said, anything you would give your subordinates instruction to do, you must have a certain level of knowledge about it. Yeah. If, as the woman in the house, you have an idea of cooking, you know how to balance diet, it will be easier for you to tell whosoever that is staying with you, on what to put together, what to eat. Then you can, oversee the well-being and health of your family. And I think knowing how to cook, to clean, to, make or keep the house, it's in this part of the world, it's important. It's one of the, it's important. It's one of the first thing a woman should know. But then it shouldn't be. That's the balance.
All right.
The whole backbone of it.
Okay.
What if the woman grows and becomes the MD?
Okay.
You know, yes. So she will most definitely get people that will help her out in all of those things. But then if you know the why of your marriage, you will know that I am not marrying I'm not marrying a woman that will be into her job. I'm marrying a domestic woman. I don't want my woman to do nothing. I just want my woman to be at home, so she will do the cooking. When you know yourself, you know the person that is coming to ask you, then in courtship you can discuss this.
That.
You will know, and then even from what he says, you will understand. Then you know that, oh, this person can be good, but my life is not
for me.
in this box.
Okay, all right. Okay, before we close this edition, I want you to talk about your relationship as a single sister, your relationship with God before getting married.
Yeah, if you realize, I keep quoting the Bible.
Yes, ma'am.
Because in the beginning, it was God's idea. Yeah. Marriage is not our idea. It is God's own idea.
Yes, ma'am.
We didn't come up with the idea of marriage. God did.
Yeah.
He said it is not good for a man to be alone. Yeah, I will make him a helpmeet that is suitable for him. So, as a Christian sister, if you want to get married and you have not settled it first with God, if you have not settled it with God, it will be hard for you to settle it with human being. See, being in relationship with God, it's to your own advantage other than to other person. Okay. And that's why, because we do not have time, you know, I had wanted talking about, first of all, getting it straight with God. Okay. Before you even get into relationship with another person.
Okay.
For me, it will be a compass to you. You know that we talked about unrealistic expectations.
Yes, ma'am.
You expect so much from a person. So sometimes we've heard it from several men of God, and in fact, even our own experiences. You know, there are times that somebody will hurt you really bad, really, really bad. You have no reason to forgive the person. But I'm telling you, I always say that there's a supernatural part of life, you know, and like someone will always say that we are spiritual beings on a physical journey, you know. So if you realize that it is God, and you know, that's why we will strike this balance between you giving so much unrealistic expectation. If you know yourself, because you know yourself, you know, God will be able to help you. Then you can lower down your expectation. You know, that's where God comes in. That's where God comes in. That you know, I know God that I am this, I have this, you know, this is the kind of person I want in my life. But then God will say, because I see 20 and 30 years ahead of you, you do not see, you know, so you can really journey with this person. And then you can trust God, believe God that yes, because God set this, you can hold on to him. And that's why it's bad that it's when you want to settle down that you're trying to get it straight with God. You get it straight with God long before now. Just like somebody will say that you don't learn to hear God in one day.
Exactly.
You know, it's a posture you must keep over time. Then you pray. You pray. You know, there's a prayer version of everything. I just believe that there's a prayer. I said 2 things happen to you when you pray. That the prayer, God can change the situation by the prayer, and then your prayer can change you. You get? So that your prayer can change, you can pray, and then the prayer can change you. God will say, oh no, your expectations are unreasonable. I know you, I handcrafted you, I know this person. You know, so knowing God is first of all to your own advantage. You know, first of all, we do not even know how to love. The Bible says He first
First,
loved
yeah,
us.
loved us.
So that you will know love is when you know God.
Yeah.
If you don't know God, it will be hard for you to love.
Wow.
The love that you will know will be selfish.
Yes.
The love that you know will be self-centered. But that you know God, it will be easier for you to love another person. That's why the Bible says you love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because he knows that the Bible says even Jesus, he said he does not love himself so much, but then he gave himself out. He died on the cross. So, you know, first of all, when you love God genuinely, I'm not talking about the religious jamboree we do, but when you love God genuinely, amidst the noise, you know, away from the noise, away from the shouting and all of the, can you have a genuine relationship with God? See, the Bible says if we know how to give our children good gifts, how much more of God? If you go out and all the things you're thinking of is to make life better for your children, how much more of God? See, God loves you, and that he loves you, the Bible says he's interested in every details of your life. Your marriage, he's interested in it. The fact that you want children or not, he's interested in it. So, see, you can't walk with God. You can't walk with God, and then God will abandon you. You must get these things right. Because first of all, I keep saying that whatever knowledge you have, as good as you should have the knowledge, whatever knowledge you have, they are still human knowledge. There's a knowledge that comes from God that is pure. There's a knowledge that there's a wisdom that comes from God that only God can give. And as bad and as lowly as this person can be, you know, it is God that will tell you, you know, Sister Sarah, marry this person. And you can only turn back and say, Lord, I am grateful that I am in this marriage, that I am in this relationship. Why? Because God loves you, then you understood the love of God. If you don't understand the love of God, it will be hard for you to translate love to another person. Because he said, while we are yet sinners, he loves us. And then, but then you say, no, this person, he did this, I can't forgive you. But God said, I forgave you. Even when your sin was, it were more than this. So when you understand God in the first place, you know, it will direct your step. To first of all, this is what you know. This is what you know. And you know what we always believe as sisters is that we believe that when I trust God, when I follow God, when I believe God, he will give me less. No. God is profit crazy. No. When you trust God, that's when he will look for his choicest son and give you. Sometimes he may not look like it. He may not look like it. That's why I say cut the leeching mentality. Because if you look at it from that context, you may lose it. But if you know God, if you love God, if you have a relationship with God, I'm not talking about fellowship, church meetings. You honestly have a relationship with God. It will be easier for you, you know, to come down and then have a relationship with humans.
It helps a lot, and you have this peace of mind. If you have the relationship with God while waiting, you know that there's someone out there, there's someone supreme, and that you know no matter what, he won't give you something that is less. So it's always good.
And you have to be sure that you're not loving him because you want his son.
Exactly. You just have to love him for who he is. Not really what you really want.
Just discover God. Know God for yourself.
Know God for yourself.
Because honestly, there are certain kinds of challenges you will meet in marriage. It is only your knowledge of God that will bail you out. It is, and then it is the bulk of what you know that will help you out. So if you have knowledge, you gain knowledge. You gain knowledge about marriage. You have a relationship with God. You know, he will be able to help you out of certain kinds of scenario where all the odds might be against you, but then you trust God. It is, you know, it is the person we always give our time to, or whatever we give our time to, that's what will be, where we will run to at times of needs. You know, so when you know God, you know, my friend Joy will always say, know God for yourself. Know God for yourself.
It's very, very important. So thank you so much, Ma. I know you have a lot. This one is so loaded. If you allow her, she can do 5 hours down without getting tired. I understand, but thank you so much. I don't know, in a nutshell, do you have anything to just tell someone out there waiting on God? Just maybe something that will just keep a sister going.
Yeah, yeah. Dearly beloved, if you're trusting God for marriage, please, your time clock is not God's time clock. And then you must be deliberate about you wanting to be married. Don't be saying it, be saying, I want to get married, and then deep down, you know, you're not set, you're not prepared, there's no emotional intelligence, there's no financial intelligence, there's no spiritual intelligence. If you want to get married, there's a preparedness that comes with marriage. And then be glad that you're not yet married, because you still have the opportunity to learn what you did not know, what you didn't learn. You still have the opportunity to. So keep trusting God and trust God. The plan of God defeats time. You know, our cosmos time. You know, some people say time is delusional. And then it's true. You know, if trust God that His timing is not yours. It's not going to be easy for you as a sister that all your friends are married, your younger ones are married, everybody is asking you, and you know the question nowadays is, when are you getting married? Anybody you see, you know, lift your head high and enjoy this singleness while it lasts.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm tempted to clap. Wow, thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, viewers, for staying with us to the end. I so much believe you have learned a lot. Okay, we'll draw the curtain now, but please just always keep checking us on Holy Ghost Theater. We'll be posting so many interesting things. We'll be bringing so many people that have knowledge about marriage, that have knowledge about business, and a lot of them. Hallelujah. So please and please, still, if you still have questions, you can still drop it on the comment section. She can answer you anywhere. YouTube, Facebook, you can do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma, once again for coming.
Thank
and
you.
we'll come back. She'll come back. She'll come back and take one topic about courtship. So just relax your mind. Don't say that this woman really did not pour out all. Relax your mind. She'll come back. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next Saturday, same time, same station.
Thank you.
Bye.